What is the effect of temperature on the conductivity of the semiconductors? We know that conductivity of semiconductor is given by E equal sigma is equal to E into Ne into mu E plus Nh into mu H. Now, when the temperature of the semiconductor increases, mobility of both the electron and that of holes decreases due to the increase in their collision frequencies. So, when the temperature rises, mobility of electron and hole increases due to the greater number of collisions they are suffering. But because conduction band and the valence band of the semiconductors are separated by a very small value, and due to the high temperature, because more and more electrons are moving from valence band to the conduction band, the increase in the number density of electron and the holes respectively in conduction band and valence band is such a large that any reduction taking place in the mobility of electrons and holes due to the increase in their collisions, it is not affecting much the values of the conductivity. The result, overall conductivity of the semiconductor rises with the temperature. Now we are talking about our first important electronic device made from the semiconductors, which is known as the PN junction. What is a PN junction? It is a single crystal either made from germanium or silicon and doped in such a way that half portion of the single crystal act as n-type semiconductor while the other half act as the p-type semiconductor. The line along which the two type of semiconductors n and p they are joined together, we call that as line as a junction. So a PN junction is nothing but a single crystal of germanium or silicon which is doped from one side with pentavalent impurity atoms and from the other side by the trivalent impurity atoms, so that one half of the portion act as n-type, other act as a p-type, and the points or the line along where these two type of semiconductors they get in contact with each other, we call it as a junction. Now we are discussing the formation of a PN junction. That means what happens when a p-type semiconductor and an n-type semiconductor they are joined together in order to form a PN junction. We know that in a p-type semiconductor the number density of holes is larger, whereas in case of n-type semiconductor the number density of free electrons inside is very large. So when a single crystal structure of germanium or silicon is doped with donor atoms from one side and acceptor atoms from the other side. One side act as n-type, another side act as the p-type semiconductor. So the point where these two type of conductors they come in contact with each other, we call it as the junction. Now what happens when a p-type material is combined with n-type material due to the density gradient existing between the two? That is, in n region we have electrons as the majority charge carriers, while in the p region we have holes as the majority charge carriers. So there is a difference in the density of the negative and the positive charges in both the N and the P region. So due to this difference, as the two are combined together, the majority charge carriers they begins to diffuse from region of lower concentration to region of higher concentration. So as the two are combined together, the majority charge carriers they begins to diffuse from region of higher concentration to the region of the lower concentration. That is, electrons from the N region they tend to diffuse into the P region, where they will have the tendency to combine with the holes which are present in majority over there. Whenever an electron combines with a hole, remember hole is nothing but a vacant site of an incomplete covalent bond. So when electron will move from N into the P region, if it falls into a vacant site like hole, it is going to complete the incomplete covalent bond and it will neutralize. The two gets neutralized. Similarly, when holes diffuse from P region into the N region, these holes will tend to combine with the electrons and they will also neutralize. We call this type of combination as the electron and hole recombination. Due to this diffusion of the majority charge carriers across the junction, an electric current is set up without the help of any external potential difference inside the crystal structure, which is called as the diffusion current, which is the sum total of the diffusion due to the holes and that of due to the electrons. Electrons are diffusing from N to P side and holes are diffusing from P to the N side. Now, whenever due to the diffusion near the junction, an electron moves from N region to the P region, it is going to combine with one of the hole available inside the P region. We know that a hole is nothing but an incomplete covalent bond formed when a trivalent impurity atom is forming three covalent bonds with the three silicon or the three germanium atoms, whereas its fourth bond with the fourth silicon or germanium atom is empty. So when this electron arising from N region into the P region falls into that incomplete covalent bond site, the two gets neutralized together, but because now the acceptor atom has accepted this electron arriving from the N region in order to complete its covalent bond, it has changed this acceptor atom into a negative acceptor ion because it has now one extra electron present inside it. So it lead to the formation of a immobile, meaning non-moving acceptor ion, and the number density of such negative immobile acceptor ion near the junction inside the P region, they will keep on increasing as more and more number of electrons they will keep on moving from N region into the P region. So here in the P region you can see here these circles indicated with the negative sign inside them. So they are nothing but the acceptor atoms which have accepted the electrons coming from the N region and now they are changed into the negative acceptor ions. Similarly, when holes are diffusing from P side to the N side, these holes moving from P side to the N side, they will also combine with the electrons present inside the N region, due to which when they will combine with the electrons in the N region, they will also be changing the donor atoms into the donor ions. Actually, what is happening over here, when N and P are combined together, Large number of donor atoms are present in the N region, which are ready to donate their fifth electron, which is not taking any part in covalent bond formation, and they are available for the conductivity or free movement inside the crystal structure. So when these electron they leave their parent donor atom to move toward the p region, now the donor atom is now short of one fifth electron, due to which this donor atom is now changed into a positive immobile donor ion, which is shown over here in the N region. So due to the diffusion of electrons from N to the p region, the region across the junction, it contains some of the non-moving ions, donor ions, which are marked with the positive circles, which are present in the N region, and the negative acceptor ions, which are present in the p region over here. As more and more number of electrons are moving from N to p region, the number density of such acceptor ions and the donor ions respectively in the p and in the N region go on increasing. This region across the junction, which contains ions which cannot move, that is, it contains immobile ions, we call this region as the depletion region, or it is also sometimes known as the depletion layer. Depletion word is used because the charges present inside this region, they are depleted or devoid or removed from their property of being mobile charge carriers. So the atoms present inside the depletion layer, now they have lost their property of holding the moving charges, that is electrons in the N region and holes in the p region. That's why the region is called as the depletion region. As these ions they keep on increasing across the junction, a potential difference arises between N region and the p region. If we take a look at the figure clearly, in the p region inside the depletion layer, we have only the negative ions present, whereas in the N region we have only the positive ions present inside it. So just like a battery has a positive and a negative terminal, similarly over here in the depletion layer we have only positive ions in the N region and the negative ions in the p region of the depletion layer, due to which the potential in the N region due to the positive donor ion increases, while the potential in the p region due to the negative acceptor ion decreases. So this sets up an electric potential difference inside this depletion layer. We call this potential difference as the barrier potential. This is known as the barrier potential because it tends to oppose the diffusion of the majority charge carriers across the junction and does not allow a recombination of all the electrons and holes present in the N and the p region. So as the diffusion process just starts due to the combination of N and the p type semiconductors, the number of such donor and the acceptor ions inside the depletion layer are almost zero, due to which the diffusion process is very fast in the beginning, so diffusion current is very large. But as these ions go on increasing near the junction, the potential difference between the donor and the acceptor ion also go on increasing, that is barrier potential also go on increasing, due to which the number of majority charge carriers which are able to cross over the junction to go into the other region, they starts decreasing, and ultimately a stage is reached where this barrier potential becomes so much large that it does not allow any of the majority charge carriers to move further from n region to the p region or from p region to the n region. So at this stage, the recombination of all the electrons and holes stops. So diffusion current is fast in the beginning, then it slows down and ultimately becomes zero when a constant barrier potential is set up across the depletion layer. So this barrier potential is just like acting an imaginary or fictitious battery which is connected across the junction such that its positive terminal is connected to the N region and negative terminal is connected to the P region. Due to this potential difference, due to the separation of donor and acceptor ions in this depletion layer region, an electric field is also set up directed from the N region to the P region. So if an electron has to move from N to P region, it has to gain a certain amount of energy equal to EV, where V is the barrier potential, so that it can cross over the junction against this barrier potential. Because itself an electron does not possess this amount of energy, so this potential difference or this energy must be provided by connecting the semiconductor externally with a battery of sufficient potential difference. The value of the barrier potential setup, it depends upon the nature of semiconductor, whether we have used silicon or germanium. Also depends upon the temperature of the material and amount of the doping. For silicon, this barrier potential is 0.7 volt, while for germanium it is 0.3 volt. Now on the average, if we take that a barrier potential 0.5 volt is set up between N and P region across the depletion layer, and the width of the depletion layer is 1 micrometer 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter, then the electric field that will be set up within this depletion width, it will be 0.5 divided by 10 raised to the power minus 6, which will be 5 into 10 raised to the power 5 volt per meter. So this is a very huge value of electric field which is existing across the junction. So this huge electric field applies huge amount of electric force on the majority charge carriers, due to which electrons are not able to move from N to P and holes are not able to move from P to N. So if we want that these majority charge carriers, they are able to cross over the junction and an electric current begins to flow through the junction, an external battery of suitable potential difference must be applied across the junction so that the movement of the majority charge carrier allows a finite amount of electric current to flow through it. So this is a p-n junction formation. What happens when a p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor, they are joined together? So this lead to the formation of an important device which we call as a p-n junction diode. The circuit symbol is right in front of you. Here the arrow side is the anode part, that is a positive terminal, where the vertical line side is the negative part, negative terminal, which is called as the cathode. The real life component of junction diode is also, its picture is also shown right on the circuit symbol, where the black side, black coloring on the cylinder, it indicates the positive terminal of the p-n junction, whereas a silver ring present on one end of the cylinder, it acts as the negative terminal of the p-n junction diode. Thank you.